Being stubborn is a virtue when you're right. The Kyle Shanahan story
When you're right.
by Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, this is a quote from Tony Dungy in the Matt Mayoko interview. And I agree with the logic, meaning that if you believe you're correct with your current strategy as you see it, you should stick to your guns. If you believe that you are correct in what you're doing, but that outside circumstances are the reason for your failure. So in this example, if I'm Kyle Shanahan and I believe everything I'm doing, the team that I'm building, the offense that I'm executing is all where it should be, what it should be, but the injuries of 2020 just derailed my season. It would be foolhardy of me, if I believe those things to be true, to completely revamp the way in which I build my team, the way in which I construct my offense, because it was outside factors. If I stay the course, eventually those outside factors will drift away, and what I'm doing well will show the results on the field.
Yeah. Well, look, he adjusted his behavior
He
during the
did.
bye week. That's a good sign. He watched tape of himself, not just himself throwing at practice, which we know he does. Watched tape of himself talking and was like, "Ew, I can do better," and did. So that's a good sign. That shows a little bit of flexibility. One of my big issues with Kyle and why I start to feel like he's not a head coach is he's so stubborn. I think you need flexibility. I think as a head coach, you can't just be the kind of guy who says, this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen and I'm going to be right. Dude, watch. And if something different than what you thought happens, that's okay if you react. And he's late to react, or he's like refuses to acknowledge reality. That's what it is. It refuses to acknowledge reality until way late. Like, man, would you just use your eyes? Okay, it's not what you predicted. That's okay. You don't have to be a fortune teller, man. Just react to reality quicker. And that's stubbornness, man. So look, he had a week in his bye week to look or listen to his wife or his mom or whoever, his dad. He made an adjustment. Maybe he'll make an adjustment with his offense too. And they're talking about they need explosive plays. And that's been the thing with Kyle forever, that no matter who his quarterback is, who his running back is, he gets the big plays in the run game and the pass game. They've been gone this year. And they're like, well, Mostert's gone. I don't care. Kyle, you've been in the league like 14 years. You can do this. And so I think the reason that they're gone is because he's been so safety first with Jimmy. He's been really trying to keep Jimmy as the starter as long as possible so he can marinate Lance. He's trying to marinate Lance or whatever. And that's taken away the explosive plays. And I think they're getting to the point, it's almost, mid-season. Maybe Lance has already gotten one start. He could start next week if he's healthy. Jimmy, you got to throw it downfield. We got to extend it. And if you start throwing picks, well, then we got to move on. We can't do safety first, training wheels offense forever. We can't. We got to go downfield here. And this is the week we're going to do it on Sunday Night Football. And if you blow it in front of the nation, it's going to make it easy. You're going to bench yourself, dude. So here we go. No more training wheels. Let's go. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, so you're saying it's time to move on. It's time to stop being so stubborn and open things up a bit.
Let it rip.
It makes sense to me. You got to know what you have at this point.
You're weak in the secondary. Let it rip, baby.
Yeah. You cannot remain conservative going forward.
Nah.
That may have been, an acceptable, executable plan coming into this season, but sitting at 2-3 going into a matchup that people think is going to be a layup, but is really against a fairly tough Indianapolis team that is regaining their own momentum. I tend to agree that I don't think
it's in the Niners' interest or Kyle's interest to carry Jimmy anymore. He's been carrying Jimmy it's hard to, but he does carry Jimmy in a lot of ways with the easy stuff and the manufactured throws. They need to sort of look to make a transition to Trey at some point, just the way that the Ravens did for Lamar Jackson midway through his rookie year. So, okay, Jimmy, we're going to ask more of you. And if you can rise to the occasion like Alex Smith did that year when Mahomes was on the bench, then it's your job, dude. I mean, Alex Smith rose to the occasion that year and led the league in passer rating, and they didn't bench him until they pretty much had to the next year. So, Jimmy, you could be that guy too, but not with the, 7 points before halftime, messing around, doing nothing offense. We got to go down the field.
Yeah, open it up, force Jimmy into a situation where he has to perform and show everyone whether that's going to be the case this season or, to your point, whether it is, in fact, just time to accept that this season is not going where we want it to and focus on 2022.